Welcome back to Golden Age Icons. Today we're diving into the outrageous, hilarious, and downright unbelievable world of Porky's, the teen comedy that shocked critics, smashed box office records, and still has audiences laughing over 40 years later. From real-life high school scandals to scenes so wild they were banned in entire countries, you won't believe the secrets behind this cult classic. Let's jump right in. Number 1. The low budget that paid off. Porky's was made on a surprisingly low budget of about $4 million, yet it became one of the most profitable films of the early 1980s. Director Bob Clark focused on humor, relatable teen antics, and outrageous scenes rather than expensive sets or effects. This cost-saving strategy worked like a charm, as the film grossed over $100 million worldwide. For a comedy with such a small investment, the return was groundbreaking. Studios were stunned by its success, proving that a raunchy teen comedy could be a box office giant. Porky's became a model for low-budget, high-profit filmmaking, a formula many movies tried to copy in the years that followed. Number 2. Inspired by true high school stories. Director Bob Clark revealed that many of the film's outrageous events were inspired by his own teenage years in Florida during the 1950s. The pranks, locker room humor, and even the infamous Porky's bar were based on real experiences and places from his youth. Clark blended exaggerated comedy with a nostalgic look at teenage life, giving the film a sense of authenticity under all the outrageous humor. Fans were surprised to learn how much of the absurdity was rooted in reality. This personal touch helped the movie feel more relatable even with its over-the-top moments. It wasn't just slapstick, it was teenage history with a comedic twist. Number 3. Controversial humor sparked backlash. Porky's wasn't just a hit, it was also one of the most controversial comedies of its time. Many critics called it crude, sexist, and offensive, while others praised its fearless approach to humor. Some theaters even refused to show it, citing its explicit content. Yet the controversy only fueled public interest, and young audiences flocked to see what the fuss was about. The film became a talking point in debates about censorship and comedy in the 1980s. Whether people loved it or hated it, they couldn't ignore it, and that controversy helped cement its place in pop culture history. Number 4. Kim Cattrall's memorable role. Before becoming famous for Sex and the City, Kim Cattrall played the unforgettable Miss Honeywell, nicknamed Lassie for a reason that shocked audiences. Her steamy, comedic locker room scene became one of the film's most talked about moments. At the time, Cattrall was relatively unknown, but this role gave her career a noticeable boost. The mix of humor and risque content made her performance stand out, and fans still reference it decades later. Interestingly, Cattrall has since admitted she was hesitant about the scene, but trusted Clark's comedic vision. It remains one of the most iconic moments in teen comedy history. Number 5. Filmed in Canada, set in Florida. Although Porky's is set in sunny Florida, much of the filming actually took place in Canada to save money. Locations around Miami were too expensive, so production moved north to take advantage of tax breaks and cheaper resources. Clever set design and camera work made Canadian streets look convincingly like 1950s Florida. This was a common trick for budget-conscious filmmakers at the time. Many fans were shocked to learn the swamps and roads weren't even American. It's a testament to the production team's creativity that audiences never suspected they were watching Canada disguised as the Sunshine State. Number 6. The infamous shower scene. One of Porky's most infamous moments is the shower peephole prank, which became a defining image of 80s teen comedies. It was both shocking and hilarious, perfectly capturing the film's outrageous spirit. It stirred up huge debates among critics, but audiences found it unforgettable. Filming it required careful coordination to maintain comedic timing without crossing certain lines, a tricky balance that Bob Clark handled masterfully. Despite mixed reviews, this moment cemented the film's reputation as a bold, no-bars-bound comedy. It's still referenced in parodies and pop culture today, proving its lasting impact on raunchy humor in cinema. Number 7. Casting real teenagers wasn't an option. Although Porky's is about high school students, most of the actors were in their 20s. This was partly due to the explicit content, which would have been impossible to film with actual minors. Casting older actors was common in teen movies, but Porky's pushed the age gap even further. The result was that the cast could fully embrace the outrageous humor without legal or ethical complications. Interestingly, their youthful looks still sold the illusion of high school authenticity. This casting choice allowed the film to take comedic risks while keeping the production within safe boundaries. Number 8. A record-breaking Canadian production. At the time of its release, Porky's became the highest-grossing Canadian-made film ever, a record it held for many years. Despite its raunchy humor and controversy, the movie's financial success brought major attention to Canada's film industry. Producers and studios realized the country could be a viable shooting location for profitable movies. This paved the way for more big productions to film there in the following decades. Porky's may not have been an artistic masterpiece in the eyes of critics, but its box office performance made it a landmark in Canadian film history and an undeniable industry game-changer. Like Black Christmas, 1974, and Murder by Decree, 1979, Porky's marked a huge shift in tone, proving he could handle outrageous comedy as well as horror and thrillers. This versatility gave Clark more opportunities in Hollywood, eventually leading to beloved comedies like A Christmas Story. It's fascinating that the man behind one of the most wholesome Christmas movies also created one of the most controversial teen comedies. Porky's showed his range and willingness to take risks, something that defined his career. Number 10. Critically panned, audience loved. When Porky's premiered, critics largely trashed it. Reviewers called it immature, vulgar, and shallow. Yet regular audiences felt differently. They packed theaters and spread word-of-mouth praise. This critic versus audience divide became one of the film's defining stories. It proved that you didn't need glowing reviews to be a hit if you could tap into what audiences wanted. Porky's did just that, offering outrageous laughs at a time when teen comedies were becoming a cultural phenomenon. Over time, even some critics have acknowledged its influence on the genre. Number 11. A surprise trilogy. The massive success of Porky's led to 2 sequels, Porky's 2: The Next Day, 1983, and Porky's Revenge, 1985. While neither matched the original's box office numbers, they kept the franchise alive in pop culture. The sequels expanded the story and characters, but the outrageous humor remained at the core. Fans of the original flocked to see what new antics the gang would get up to. Though the follow-ups didn't reach classic status, they cemented Porky's as one of the most notable teen comedy franchises of the 1980s. Number 12. The Real Porky's Owner. The villainous bar owner Porky was based on a real person Bob Clark encountered in his youth. While the real Porky wasn't quite as cartoonishly evil, he was still known for being tough and running a rowdy establishment. Clark exaggerated the personality for comedic effect, turning him into a memorable antagonist. This blend of reality and fiction gave the film's central conflict a unique authenticity. Knowing that the character had real-life roots makes the story even more interesting, and explains why the bar scenes feel so gritty and believable. Number 13. Banned in several countries. Porky's racy humor didn't sit well with censors around the world. It was banned or heavily censored in countries like Ireland and South Africa, where strict film boards considered it too explicit. These bans only made the movie more intriguing to audiences abroad who were curious about what was so outrageous. In some cases, edited versions were eventually released, but the full film remained underground in certain regions for years. This censorship history added to its reputation as a rebellious must-see comedy. Number 14. Still influential in teen comedy. More than 40 years later, Porky's influence on teen comedies is undeniable. Films like American Pie, Superbad, and Project X owe a debt to its fearless, outrageous approach. It set the blueprint for mixing raunchy humor with coming-of-age storytelling. While modern films push boundaries in different ways, Porky's remains a point of reference for filmmakers exploring the wild side of teenage life. It may not be for everyone, but its place in comedy history is secure, and it continues to inspire laughter and shock to this day.